Young Thug. Young Thug right now, I think, is going through something where it's like a post-prison for the first, maybe one of the first times, one of the only few times where an artist post-prison, right, in the history of rap, where a rapper comes out of prison and they're not hotter, they're not more on fire, musically, attention-wise, relevance, after they're out of prison. Okay. Usually it is always the case.
Yeah.
Right? Gucci Mane, Meek Mill, right? T Grizzly, Chief Keef.
That's not true.
Bobby Shmurda, yes. That's why I said one of the only few times. Bobby Shmurda is the only other person I could think of, right? And Bobby Shmurda arguably right now is being blackballed, but no one's talking about it.
Yeah, I see that.
I think he's being blackballed. I think Bobby Shmurda is being blackballed, but at the same time, Bobby Shmurda got to put in the work himself. You got to put in the work. You can make another hot record with this TikTok era. You can go. You're Bobby Shmurda.
Nigga promoting that dumbass game.
Yeah, no, he's trying to get casino money and shit like that, like online casino. But Young Thug right now keeps feeding into publicly the same thing that got him into jail. The same thing that got him arrested. The street shit. The street politics. He made a tweet now where he's saying if you're a rapper and you're a rat, you just gotta go gospel, twin. Basically, you just gotta do gospel music.
No, he hates Gunna. Holy shit.
So he is subbing Gunna, his own artist on his own label, who, according to him and to a lot of people, snitched on Young Thug, right? Even though technically what Gunna said had nothing to do with Young Thug's case or the outcome of Young Thug's case, it still is something that's on camera, on audio, where the judge asked him, is YSL gang? Yes, ma'am. Right? Yes, Your Honor. So that is something that he has to live with the rest of his life, but it got him out of jail. One of the only street rappers that drops music and people care about right now is Gunna. Gunna's more relevant than Lil Baby. Gunna's more relevant than Young Thug. Gunna has had moments right now where he's even been more relevant than Bossman D-Lo, more relevant than Moneybagg Yo. Like, Gunna has not missed. Ever since Gunna came out of jail, his music has not missed. He says that he's not a snitch, that people are misinterpreting the situation because of his case. I'm not an attorney, but we have looked into it, and it seems like it's like a very more unique situation where it's not just like a pointing the finger, like, he did it, he should go to jail. It's more of like, oh, you have to say this in order for this to happen. Like, okay, we're going to get you out today on this day, but you got to first tell the judge this. Okay, and he agreed to that. But the ramifications of the street shit is like, oh, people are not going to fuck with you. But on the other hand, there have been rappers that have been fucking with Gunna. I think it was an Offset. Mm-hmm. Was in a club with Gunna.
Offset. And he's on songs with him.
Chris Brown, the Blood Gang member, proudly Blood Gang member, R&B king of himself, Breezy, has publicly been out with Gunna. So we're probably gonna get Gunna Chris Brown music. We're probably gonna get more Offset Gunna music. We already got one song that was fire last year. And this man is telling Gunna to do gospel music. The irony is that if Gunna does gospel, that shit will be hard too. That shit will be harder than anything Young Thug's dropping right now. That new song with Young Thug and Future is a complete disappointment because it did not live up to any hype. It was here today, gone tomorrow. Young Thug performed that shit live at Rolling Loud. No movement, no reaction. Not at Rolling Loud, at Summer Smash. Shout out to Cole Bennett, Lyrical Lemonade. It didn't move the crowd. Like, what are we doing? And he keeps pushing back this album. He had a whole joke. It's coming June 37th. There's no 37th in June. People thought it could be June 27th. He's just joking. June 27th came last week. Didn't happen. No album. Still no album. Months later. Why are you taking so long to drop an album after you're out of jail? When you dropped an album while you were in jail. And that album was your worst album, lackluster. People did not love that album. Now you're out of jail. You have the opportunity to seize the moment. And your single is mid, right? It's not good enough to move and shake shit. No one's talking about it still after it came out. No one's talking about it now. But you still keep tweeting about the street shit. You still keep talking about rats and this and that. you shouldn't even be talking about this. You're on probation currently.
He's
Like,
stupid.
Like, what are you doing? Now you're gonna risk your own freedom just to prove to what? Your own ego, the street credit ego? Like, you still want to be in the streets. You still want to have one foot in the industry as a multimillionaire brand walking around Young Thug, but you still want to have one foot in the streets. That's not the way it goes, bro. You're gonna end up, God forbid, back in jail. Like, is that like? And someone had a viral tweet where they said, and they have a good point. Young Thug has not addressed Rich Homie Quan dying, who he had a whole rap group with. He has not addressed him dying at all.
And the other nigga,
Lil Keed, another Atlanta rapper that was inspired by Young Thug, one of his proteges, basically. Lil Keed has not talked about Lil Keed dying, right? He also hasn't talked about Trouble passing away. He also hasn't talked about Takeoff passing away. His own baby mama died. He hasn't talked about that, right? One of his baby mamas, I believe, died while he was in jail. Mm-hmm. He has a bunch of trauma, which is unfortunate, but he can turn that into beautiful art, like he's done in the past, right? Everyone knows I've been killed before. Yeah, you can leave him on or turn him off, whatever you want. Yeah. And then what was that song? He had a song, King Troop. He had a song about Troop. King Troop dying. He's done this type of music in the past. He could take it to that level. Right now, it seems like this man has lost the plot, and I think he's risking his entire following. I'm telling you right now, he's still a GOAT, what he's done musically, but now it's to his own detriment. It's like he's not reading the room. He keeps not reading the room.
I have a theory.
He doesn't want to make up with Gunna. That's fine. You don't got to make up with Gunna, but it's like, stand by it. Kick him off your label.
No.
Kick him off your label.
You lose the money.
But then you can't do both. If I'm Gunna, then leave the label.
You can't. You still have a contract to uphold. This is what I think is happening. He still has an album that he has to give him. If I'm pretty sure it's one album left.
Yeah.
I think he's tanking his value. So when he leaves, it's like, fuck you, nigga. I think that's what's happening behind the scenes. I think whenever they beef behind the scenes, he runs to Twitter and says something.
So who's taking the value? Young Thug?
Young Thug taking his value because he understands. It's like the Drake situation all over again. Drake and UMG. I think Thug understands this nigga is valuable. He wants, I don't want him here because he's a rat. I don't trust him. But I don't want him to succeed wherever he goes because I'm bitter about the situation. So let me take his stock by hinting and like kind of like making people think, oh, he's a snitch, because I can't say it because I'm still on probation, so I can get in trouble. What reaffirms that theory for me, some young nigga on IG kept hitting me up, one of the fans, and he keeps telling me about a thug sign that I never heard about. His name, and the chat could confirm this for me. His name is Nine Vicious. Yo, Vic.
He's a new artist. He's the newest YSL
yup,
artist.
Vic. He sounds like Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting what's going on here. I have a theory that Thug is going towards that trajectory. He's peeping the landscape. And
he wants to be executive.
And he's like, let me start adopting the sound, picking up niggas that sound like this. Let me move towards this because he can't rap about street shit no more. So I think that's what's going on. The Gunna doesn't fit into that sound.
But the thing is, if you have Nine Vicious, he has a new artist, Nine Vicious, who's popping in the underground. Why not do a Nine Vicious collaboration? Why not go that route fully? Instead, you give us a mid-future song.
Because you can't legally. You can't talk your shit. What's the point? I get what you're saying though, because just the collab alone would make him more commercial. Because he is just underground. I didn't know the fuck this nigga was. I had to have this nigga explain it to me. But like, it's interesting, Vic. Like, that sound that this nigga sounds like is nothing like Thug's label. There's not another YSL nigga. So it makes me like wonder, is he moving towards this sound? Yeah. Because this is what he's accepting and adapting to. And Gunna doesn't fit in that. Gunna doesn't fit in that at all.
I just think, just logical standard, right? It is pretty crazy how we live in a society where the person that does the crime, right, they'll
get glorified.
They'll get glorified, but the person that is snitching on the person for doing that crime, and you know what I'm saying, or is the person that gets that person arrested, etc., is the person that gets shitted on, right? And I get it. I get it to some extent, right? In situations, because I still live in the hood to this day, guys. Don't think I'm like I don't know. Yeah, like that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to say is like it just is what it is. Like that's literally what it is. But I think the narrative is switching. And I think 6ix9ine switched that narrative without us like enjoying that he's switching that narrative. But now Gunna's switching that narrative.
My thing is
with the good music, because he keeps just dropping the good shit, and he's like, "Oh, you guys think this? Actually, fuck all that. I'm gonna just keep giving you this good ass music."
My thing is, Vic, this is where it's unfair to me, and it's 6ix9ine all over again. Gunna, because the thing is, Gunna's testimony couldn't be used in court.
Yeah.
So he said that just to be able to get out. So it was never used against Thug. But the reason why people call it snitching is because you're still collaborating with the police. My thing is, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
Gunna was well aware of what was going on. He knew everything. He was in these meetings. He knew what niggas was doing, and he benefited off of it. The street angle that Gunna had, where he's popping his shit, he's fly, he's saying he got niggas that will kill you, all this shit, that's not him. Gunna was making music about getting good grades, bro, before fucking Thug found him. I remember I saw the video. This nigga's rapping in college about being a good student. You benefited off of this. You then turned and ratted on it. I get the frustration. My thing is, I'm not a street nigga. It's still good music. And at the end of the day, Thug has to make this clear. You're going to drop him or you're not. Let him off your label. Let him go of his contract if you don't want him there. Stop extorting him. Because now it's extortion. We thought it was extortion before when he was in jail dropping albums. And niggas is like, he's probably paying for his books with these albums. Which he probably was. But now it's definitely extortion because you don't want him there. But you're still benefiting off of him being there.
And on top of that, we're never going to hear Gunna say a word of this contract situation with YSL.
Never.
Because if he does, he's a rat again.
Yeah.
He's a snitch again. Or for those people that didn't think he was a snitch, now he's really a snitch. Oh, now you want, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that'll definitely be the straw that broke the camel's back with him and Young Thug's relationship, if it hasn't already. Because the irony is, like, Young Thug is on this anti-Gunna train and tirade. Gunna's always just spoken highly of Young Thug. Like, he keeps taking a high route. During his concerts, he had Free Young Thug. Free Young Thug everywhere. Like, he's really doing this where it's like, oh, I'm cool with him. In interviews, he's like, my relationship with him's still the same. We're thinking maybe, hey, we don't know what's happening. Maybe they're having conversations behind the scenes.
No, you're just playing politics.
No, they're clearly not having conversations behind the scenes. And what Gunna said, he might have been lying this whole time, saying that him and Thug are cool. They're clearly not cool because this type of tweet is not just to all rats and all snitches. Obviously, he's subbing the most infamous situation that he's been involved with, and that's the one with Gunna. All right, so, and also I think there was another YSL member that did that snitched as well, or like actually,
yeah,
I think it was more.
Member.
Was it Unfunk? It might have been Unfunk, his brother.
Yeah, got the same deal
or something like that. But he got the same deal as Gunna. But I think it was even more like more aggressive, some shit like that. Listen. To avoid this, Gunna should have had maybe somehow his lawyer speak to the Young Thug's lawyer, let them know like this is gonna happen, etc. Blah blah. Would you be okay with this? But at the same time, to expect lawyers to kind of have some street code ethic conversation, I guess is not realistic.
Gunna also could have just sat.
He could have sat.
You just sat. If you knew they didn't have anything on you, you sit. But I think he got scared because he's not about it, which is understandable.
Because Gunna, if he would have sat, he would have came out maybe around the time that Young Thug guy came out, right?
Probably earlier because they didn't have anything on him. Bro, they got him for conspiracy. Vic, that ain't shit. You know how hard it is to prove conspiracy?
But Gunna did say in a song or two, I remember him rapping along the lines where he's saying basically he got finessed by his lawyer. He did say that, which is quite possible because they could paint his picture a certain way. Yeah. I think it was on Bread and Butter. A lawyer could paint a picture a certain way, but then it comes off a different way. It could be the smallest thing where it could be like, yo, we're going to do this, but there's going to be no record of you saying this or doing this. Like, it's only between us and the judge. Okay. And then the video comes out. And Gunna's like, damn, you said there was no video. What the fuck? Now I look crazy.
So this is the issue. And this is where I get this is why rap is an issue. You're right. The mindset of a street nigga is you still spoke to the police.
Yeah.
You should have known to shut up and not say nothing. The problem is Gunna's not a street nigga.
Yeah.
Gunna is not an actual street nigga. He doesn't understand the code. He didn't grow up watching niggas take time, not speak, or cooperate and be rats and be disowned for it. He doesn't understand that. Like, that's not something that he processed. So in that moment, it's like you said, he probably got finessed because he wasn't a street nigga.
Yeah.
And I feel like Thug is being a kind of a bitch here, because if it was me, I would look at this nigga and be like, you don't know no better. You don't know no better.
Yeah. No.
I gave you what you are. It was my cosign. It was my street rep. It was my, because let's be real, when Thug cosigned Gunna, hottest nigga in the fucking city, YSL, the way they explained it, was the most dangerous gang in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You get cosigned by that, you're on fucking fire. Whatever you say, niggas is believing it. Thug should have the know-it-all to say, I built this. This is my fault too. I should have never let some civilian come in here and think he a street nigga. It's the 6ix9ine thing all over again. It's literally 6ix9ine over again. You let a nigga pop shit, talk crazy on records. Like, obviously Gunna wasn't like dissing ops and shit, but he's still saying, I'm on that shit. I'll shoot a nigga. Like, he's really talking shit like he a street nigga. You let him think that. Niggas wearing ankle monitors and music videos like he's really about it. That's where Thug fucked up. You let the nigga think that, and when it came down to it, he wasn't that, which is fine because he was never that. I think they're both at fault here. Gunna should have understood the life he was involved in. Thug should have understood who he was bringing along with him.
Yeah.
And that's my frustration with this problem.
I just want good music. And Gunna's the only one dropping good music in YSL right now. Nobody else. So I think it speaks to Young Thug's like lack of reading the room. Like, you compare that Young Thug song, that Young Thug single, to the most recent Gunna single. Gunna got it, like, it's like he knocked it out the park. Like, Gunna is just, it's like, because at the same time, not everyone cares about the street mentality shit. Like, niggas like us and people that we grew up with, like, we get it and we understand it. But the most common listener and consumer of music, hip-hop music, they don't understand that shit, and they just care if this shit is good or this shit's bad. Because at the end of the day, like Eric was saying earlier, and we've been saying for years, you gotta stop idolizing these people.
Oh, without a doubt.
These are just humans. These are not superheroes. I know it might come off some way, because how the fuck did Young Thug make, you know what I'm saying, Barter 6? Like, how did he make these glorious records? The talent is insane, right? Iconic type of artist. But to look up to them and to look up to Gunna, it's like you're going to have moments of disappointment, because you're going to be like, oh, I looked up to him, but he snitched. It's like, you shouldn't have looked up to him to that level anyways. Just take it for entertainment and move on. Take it as entertainment and move on. These people are entertaining us, and move on. Now, if they want to do something where it's powerful towards like some movement, some change, it's different. Like, you know, if they have if you see that, like what your Lil Baby did with that song during the BLM movement and all that, okay. Like, oh, this is dope, right? This is some different shit. Like, okay. That's how you kind of get more of that status. But then at the same time, it worked. It didn't help Lil Baby. It worked to his detriment, because people expected that. He said it even in an interview. He's like, people expected me to go. He didn't even do that again. He never reached that. He never did that type of music again.
So what's the line here, though? Because this is my beef. Kanye West is dropping good music right now. Would you be okay with it? With everything he's doing?
If it's like Dark Twisted Fantasy level, etc., I probably would be like, yo, yeah, I probably would start bumping. I swear to God, I would. I have to be honest. I probably would. If it like
honest.
Even if I didn't want to, like,
because I would.
If I just ended up randomly hearing it, like, I'm like if I wanted to be like, oh, I'm not gonna check it out, but then people are like, yo, you gotta check it out, and you play me a song, I'm like, oh shit, that shit sound like that. I'm like, oh shit, I have to check it out. You know, it's like that. It's almost like boxers, where boxers and UFC fighters could be racist, literally racist. Like they'll say racist things, they do racist things.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor, like people could call black people monkeys. Like they do these racial things, but people move past it because they're entertainers, right? They're entertainers. Like they're just trying to role play and do these things, and people can create that separation, right? Even though sometimes they try not to. Like they want to, like, no. And there's gonna be that audience that's not gonna, like, they're gonna be like, oh, I can't fuck with him no more. God bless. But there's gonna be people that understand. Like me. Like I'll still watch a Conor McGregor fight. I'll still watch a Kobe Covington fight. Like I know that these are characters they play into, etc. And I'm hoping and praying that behind the scenes they're not racist. If they're racist behind the scenes and there's more evidence of this to come out, then it's different, right? And at that point, when the shit gets illegally and shit, then they're not even in the league no more. These people get kicked out and banned, and you know what I'm saying? They gonna let me for my ambition. And that was a clip from our podcast, the Club Ambition podcast. Cap, if you're looking to watch the full episode, make sure to go check it out right now. It's available on audio and also on YouTube.